Oh, shit! Get him!
Oh,
Get him!
Francois!
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 Oh my god! There's Francois. So pretty. Oh, so pretty.
He's flying. He doesn't fly much. Whew. Wow.
You almost got away.
We almost made a big mistake. You guys wouldn't have even watched this video. You would have been like, Francois not in it. I'm not watching it. Best actresses without an Oscar. You may have seen our previous video. Best actors without an Oscar. This is the sequel. But
Dun,
for
dun,
women,
dun.
6 of the best who have yet to win an Oscar. So number 6, Keira Knightley. So Keira Knightley had The Imitation Game, which she was nominated for an Oscar. Pride and Prejudice, nominated for an Oscar. Atonement, which was a Golden Globe nomination. She was also in Everest, Anna Karenina, London Boulevard, your favorite, Domino, and The Jacket. So what are your thoughts on that lineup, and do you think she's being screwed by the Academy?
You see, there's a lot of good movies in that listing, but I don't know, man. I don't know if it's her delivery or her method, or maybe it's just her face. I don't know. But something about her just seems consistently disconnected. Like it
From
almost
the movie?
It's just something about her character. There's always just an element to it where it's like close but no cigar, and it pulls me out of it.
That's a very vague way to criticize
Yeah, I don't
her.
really know how to pin it down. It's just there's a certain ambiance or a je ne sais quoi that just doesn't seem to.
One thing I will say about Keira Knightley is Keira Knightley does not appear to have any performance where I think of her and I can immediately think of a movie that she blew me away in. I can't think of a movie that she's done that with.
No.
What?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, one of the greatest ones of all, of course. Okay, so we're, but her...
You know what? Pirates of the Caribbean just reminds me of like an older version of Sansa. But I want it, Father! I want it! I want him!
Yeah.
The boy who's gonna die or whatever ends up Orlando Bloom.
Okay, so to be clear, she's mainly on this list because of the amount of times that she has been nominated without winning, but her not winning, it's not gonna kill me.
Doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt. Number 5, Rooney Mara.
Oh, that's a travesty.
Please stop clapping. Rooney Mara has Carol, which she was nominated for, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which she was nominated for, and then surprisingly, no other nominations, but a lot of these other films she's been in are Oscar caliber movies. Lion, Kubo and the Two Strings, Her, Side Effects, and The Social Network. So what are your thoughts on Rooney Mara?
Well, right off the bat, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, I think it is bullshit that she does not win for that.
I agree. I can't remember who she was up against that year, but that performance was very, very well done because we had just seen her in The Social Network, which was a completely different character. She really did a lot of transformative work for that movie.
And that character alone, whether you like the story or not, that character is so unique and very distinct. And that type of character doesn't come around often. And the fact that she fucking nailed it. I don't want to hear anything about some bullshit Swedish version. She fucking nailed it. If you've read the books, you know exactly what I mean. It doesn't matter how the story deviates from the book. The character was perfect. And that is not an easy character.
And you have read the books, right? So
you
do have a good perspective on
liked that movie.
Right.
Movie so well that I read all 3 of the books.
Yeah.
As a result.
And another one that gets overlooked a lot. She was good in Her, but it wasn't like a central role. She was really good in Side Effects. Like Carol felt like Oscar bait. Like that movie was made to be an Oscar movie. But the Side Effects was a thriller, and it felt very, very interesting. There was this whole plot, a lot of intrigue in that movie, and she played someone who was basically trying to game a psychiatrist. And it was just very interesting to see her take kind of an everyday type of role versus something very gothic and out there.
And that's what I think is really her strength, is roles like that and roles like Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, she doesn't shy away from the dangerous roles because those are roles that, if done wrong, will tank your career.
Absolutely.
Next thing you know, you'll be in the next friggin' Hangover or whatever and just cashing it in, going, all right, I need the money because...
Yeah. So, yeah, it is respectable.
Which I guess I shouldn't say that because Bradley Cooper did a hell of a lot with that.
Well, her film selection has also been very good, except for Peter Pan, which was fucking terrible.
Yeah, but everyone has a pitfall. I mean...
All right. Michelle Williams, number 4. Michelle Williams is someone who actually didn't seem to really pop up on my radar until a few years ago. It's not like she's been around forever. Like, Keira Knightley feels like she's been around forever.
Well, I mean, shit, we were like, 12 when the first Pirates of the Caribbean came out?
So, I don't know. Michelle Williams, though, Manchester by the Sea, she was nominated. My Week with Marilyn, nominated. Blue Valentine, nominated for Brokeback Mountain, and she got a Golden Globe nomination for All the Money in the World. That's a ridiculous amount of nominations. That's 5 nominations right there. All pretty recent movies with the exception of Brokeback Mountain. All those other ones are like, I think, the last 5 years. So she is killing it in recent movies. She keeps getting nominated, but she hasn't really been to it. She had like a big gap in between Brokeback Mountain and then her more recent nominations.
I think the problem is the biggest titles there are not the ones that she's full on carrying.
Well, yeah, I don't think she's actually carried. Maybe Manchester by the Sea. My Week with Marilyn is probably her most carried movie, I would say.
But that's the thing is like the as much as I'm not a fan of one of them, the 2 biggest titles you just listed is Manchester by the Sea and Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
Brokeback Mountain is obviously Heath Ledger and what's his name?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Obviously, one of our favorite actors.
It just slipped. I couldn't put my finger on it. And then you've got Manchester by the Sea, which is Casey Affleck. I mean, that's the big piece to those movies. Well,
another thing I'll ding her on is that they're all somewhat similar roles. Somewhat. I mean, Marilyn Monroe, a real person biopic, we always talk about that takes some serious talent. But a lot of these have that big romantic element in them. Almost all of her roles in all of these movies have a large romantic element. I would like to see her branch out, do something a little more thriller, a little more drama without the relationship factor, just to see that she can do it before I start getting truly pissed that she's not winning an Oscar.
Yeah, I would say she's done a lot of quality work, but it's just she's yet to really put her foot to the floor and wow me.
True that. All right, number 3, Jessica Chastain. Jessica Chastain, nomination for Zero Dark 30, nominated for The Help, Golden Globe for Molly's Game, Golden Globe for Miss Sloane, Golden Globe for A Most Violent Year. She was also in Crimson Peak, The Martian, Interstellar, and Lawless. Thoughts on her?
I give her a lot of credit. I mean, especially with Crimson Peak. That is not obviously a blockbuster, huge film. It's very much a cult classic approach to filmmaking. You know, very niche, so to speak. But that character was pretty intriguing.
It was.
I mean, like I said, I'm not going to lose my mind over the movie, but I think her portrayal of that character showed a skill set that, especially in a lower tier movie like that, it's admirable.
Absolutely. And I would like to point out that in contrast to Michelle Williams, a lot of these roles, first of all, her biopic game is very high. Zero Dark 30, biopic, right? Molly's Game, biopic. Miss Sloane, biopic. These are real people she directly modeled off of. Even The Help is based on some reality, but you can take a lot of liberties there. But Zero Dark 30, the entire movie is about a woman who actually existed and everything that she did. So 3 distinct biopics is a heavy burden. It's so much harder to have to study someone and truly emulate them. And she's shown us that she can do that, and she can create her own fictional character.
And I mean, seriously, just looking at Zero Dark 30 alone, you pull the rest of the shit out of there. That right there is a career-making role that she pulled off.
Absolutely. Number 2, Glenn Close. Well, Glenn Close has been nominated for a ton of movies. Albert Nobbs, Dangerous Liaisons, Fatal Attraction, The Natural, The Big Chill, The World According to Garp, and she has 2 Golden Globe nominations, both for television, The Shield and Damages. What are your thoughts on Glenn Close?
I think the problem is she's just easily forgettable. I mean, like, it's one of those people that, I mean, they do bring a decent quality to the roles that she does, but I mean, unless you didn't read that list, I would not be able to place her.
You know, that's a good point. That might just be an age factor, though, because a lot of these roles are much significantly more in the past than the majority of these other actors. I think her work in The Shield was excellent. She really drove that show for the season she was there. Fatal Attraction is pretty unforgettable. Dangerous Liaisons is very well known. She certainly has the nominations there. I would like to see her do something much more contemporary that gets her in the Oscar spotlight, though, because it seems like she was there and then she's tapered a bit.
And it could just be movie selection, but it's just like when you look at other like profound female actors like Meryl Streep or Helen Mirren, like they've had obvious staying power.
Absolutely.
And then when we're talking about this lady, and like I said, like I would not have been able to list any of those movies had we not actually taken the time to remember what movie she was in and look it up.
That's a fair point. And number 1, probably everyone knows this, Amy Adams. Amy Adams is the new Leonardo DiCaprio. Amy Adams has been nominated for all of the following movies: American Hustle, The Master, The Fighter, Doubt, Junebug. And then she has been not nominated for the following movies: Nocturnal Animals, Arrival, Big Eyes, Her, Julie and Julia, and Charlie Wilson's War. That is quite a list of filmography.
It is. I would actually go even so far, just to revert to what we were talking about before, that she's almost like Rooney Mara 2.0, like the upgraded version.
Or the original, because she's
well,
older.
yeah, but my point being is they're very similar in their approach to these roles. They're very quality actresses.
Eclectic, too.
But the big difference being is Amy Adams has definitely, she's been smart with the roles that she's picked.
Absolutely.
But she's been also fortunate enough to get into those movies that have more behind them.
Yes.
And
She's balanced blockbusters too. Lois
Yeah.
Lane is no joke to have on your blockbuster
Oh
side.
yeah, no. And that's the thing, is she has proven time and again for like what, 12, 13 years that she is
Absolutely.
a quality actress.
Right, and she has the same amount of nominations as a lot of the other people on these lists, but the thing that differentiates her is her movies she gets blown off for are fucking better than half the ones these people were nominated
even
for.
Julia and Julia. That was, from her acting standpoint, a really quality role.
Absolutely.
I mean, that person, I mean, it's not your over-the-top drama. It's not your crazy action. But that character, even on the most simplistic form, has a very intriguing dichotomy that she displays so well.
Absolutely. So there you have it. That's the 6 best actresses who have never won an Oscar.
Not in the order that they should have been in. We just went through 3 people that Rooney Mara was like under and should have been ahead. That's
Who the fuck is better than... You think fucking Rooney Mara is better than Michelle Williams, Jessica Chastain, and Glenn
not
Close?
Jessica Chastain, but definitely better than Glenn Close
Glenn
and Michelle
Close,
Williams.
you're biased against Glenn Close being old. Her nominations
No, it's not even
she's
about...
got 3 times
It's
more
not-
nominations than
Why are
Rooney
you bringing
Mara.
ageism into this?
Because you're being ageist. You're
How?
being ageist.
How?
Because you hate Glenn
I'm just
Close.
saying she's
an old-
forgettable.
You might as well have said she's an old woman. Fuck her. Get her off this goddamn list. I don't watch her fucking movies.
Whoa. I do not fuck old women.
All right. Do us out.
So,
Subscribe
now that we've just
now.
blown the fuck up, subscribe, share, discuss with us down in the comments. Subscribe, share. Yes, I just said it fucking twice because it's important.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay.